Speaking of underrated classes, one of the guys who has put together another terrific recruiting class on the Hilltop at SMU is Chad Morris, and we are so happy to be joined by the head coach of the SMU Mustangs. It is Chad Morris. Coach Morris, thanks for taking some time.
Hey, appreciate you guys. You bet. Pleasure to be a part.
So what's this day like? How has this day gone for you as far as what you've done? How happy you are with how things worked out? What's this day been like for you?
Well, really the day started about 1:30 this morning when you're still on the phone with guys and talking to guys and as far as just when guys calling you and all that stuff, and you just you start then, you try to get a little bit of rest, you do a somersault out of the bed, you get your suit on, and you sprint to work, and you get up here about 5:30 in the morning, and you anxiously sit around and hurry up and wait and till 7, and so. So we've been going strong, but a great day, just a great celebration of a lot of hard work. The coaches and their wives and everybody's truly a family party, and that's what we had. We had probably, I would say, in the neighborhood of 150 boosters and everybody up here partying with us today. So been a lot of fun this morning.
This is your second signing day as a head coach, and your second signing day with SMU. What have you learned from maybe last year to this year that has helped you in what was your first full recruiting cycle with the Mustangs?
Yeah, the number one thing and I knew that coming in, is the fact that, being a Texas high school coach, I mean, you can get your kids, you can really, if you do a great job in this state, these high school coaches want one of their own to succeed. And that's one thing we've really built off of. And, we're the only Division I team in the state of Texas that can lay claim that on signing day the last 2 years since we've gotten here, that we've signed all Texas kids. And that's a big deal to me, and that's huge. And doesn't mean we're not going to go outside our great state, but, we are able to lay claim and brand the market. We're going to be Texas tough. And it's going to start with our coaches here in this state. So, but again, that's been probably one of the biggest things, is really trying to sell that, and knowing that the other thing would be that we know our year didn't go like we wanted it. We kind of felt like it could go the way it went, but to sell our culture, and in down times, when times aren't going good, your culture of the program you establish is what's going to get you through it. And we've done an unbelievable job, our staff has, of telling, and modeling what our culture is about.
I wanted to ask you about that because obviously the wins have not come to SMU in the way that you guys would have liked. I imagine that when you're going out there and you're winning 12 games a year, it's a lot easier to tell a kid, hey, come on board. What's your message to guys when they start looking around and say, okay, well, you've won 4 games the last 2 years. What's your message to recruits at that point?
Well, I guess I'm a little bit different because I didn't come into a program that was established, and I came into a program that's been for the last couple of years have been kind of down, and so I took over a tough situation, and I knew that coming in, and I knew it was going to take a collective group of people and coaches in this state, alumni. It's going to take administrators on our campus to realize what it's going to take to win. Because I do know how to win, and that's all we have done is ever win, and it's going to take the fact of everybody locking arms, and we're going to have to establish the same culture, and the culture's got to be commitment. Commitment's got to be part of the culture, and I'm talking about commitment. I'm talking about commitment to facilities, commitment to winning being important, and that's why I'm here. And coming from a great program where I was with Coach Sweeney out at Clemson, we know how to win. Coach did a great job of establishing the culture there, and we're taking a lot of that, what we did at Clemson, and bringing it here and putting our own spin on it. But so as you go out and you sell that to players, you got a chance to come in here and play immediately. We played one of the toughest schedules in all of college football last year. 6 of our 12 teams that we played were ranked in the top 20, and so we knew coming in, one, you're taking over a 1-11 team, Two, you play a tough schedule like we did. We were in just about every game, but we just didn't have the firepower to finish, and it was because of lack of depth, and that's where recruiting comes in.
We're talking to SMU coach Chad Morris here on DCTF Live. Get involved with the conversation at hashtag DCTF Live. For you, we make a big deal out of the fact that verbal commitments are non-binding. Are there a lot of white knuckle times this time of year?
Well, there are. I mean, anytime you deal with 17, 18-year-old kids and decision making, and I try to tell these guys all the time, when they do try to commit to us at an early time, I try to literally talk them out of it. And I don't want them to do that. I want to give them exactly what the word commitment means. And and if you're ready to commit, then we'll take it. But if you're not, then go date. It's different from being married and then dating. And so we try to sell that and stress that to these guys. But it is. I mean, until you get the final, the final signature on the paper, then you can kind of breathe deep. But, and what's sad about this, and I can say this because, being a high school coach in this state for as long as I have, and then get in college football, I mean, the college coaches, they know how to ask questions. They know how to if you leave a door open as a commitment, and then you say, well, for now, or just if the door is cracked, people know how to ask questions to get in the door. And so you really try to coach your guys up. You really talk with the parents, and that's one thing I can say with this Stain Gang 16 class that we signed. Not only are they all from the state of Texas, but they're also, we got some great parents that are a part of this and part of this building process with us too.
If you had carte blanche and you could change anything about the recruiting process and how we do things here, what would you change?
Yeah, I would say that if you committed to me, I'm going to have a piece of paper right there for you to sign. Mm-hmm. So you better think long and hard when you commit. Is this what you want? I think that's something. I don't think it'll ever get to that point. But I feel like one of these days we may get into an early signing period, which I'm in favor of. The whole deal is when it would be. Do you do it in December? Do you do it in August? I'm great with doing it in August. So that's the one thing. If we could change one thing about this, when you're ready to commit, and if the NCAA would allow us to do that, here's your piece of paper. Let's go ahead and sign up, and let's do it now. And then we take everybody out of play. You take the pressure off the high school coach, you take the pressure off the student athlete, and the pressure's off the universities. And so those type of things. And then the next question is, well, what happens if a coach, if you have an early signing day in August, and then the coach gets fired or he leaves? Then, hey, we still got guys making decisions the whole month of December and January anyway. So just let them, once the head coach leaves, the commitment's off. And so, but again, that's for a whole nother subject and probably a whole nother radio show. But I could talk about that all day long. But you know what? I'm excited about today.
Well, let's let you talk up a few of these guys. I know that we've been following them here at Dave Campbell's Texas Football for quite a while, and one of the guys that immediately jumps off the page at me is Manville linebacker Jordan Carmouche coming in to get a big time defender like that from the Houston area. What do you like about Jordan's game?
Well, Jordan is a young man we got on early last year, and then it kind of tailed off. Obviously, he committed to another school, and and I guess about the 1st of December, he reached out to us and said, "Coach, I would really, really like to think and talk to you if you have an interest." And obviously we did. He said, "Coach, I would like an opportunity to play linebacker or play running back." And I said, so we talked a little bit, and running back was an area that we were lack of depth at. And I said, so we talked and communicated, and I said, absolutely, Jordan, we'd give you an opportunity to come in here and play running back. You got the size. That's something that we need, especially in some short yardage situations. But yeah, come on. And if this running back gig doesn't work out, I know you can play linebacker. So yeah, that's kind of the way that thing started.
And then another guy, one of your big hog mollies up front that you're getting, you're bringing in San Angelo Central offensive tackle Braxton Webb, a guy who was a real leader for that Bobcats team out there. When you watched Braxton Webb, what excites you about him coming to the Hilltop?
Well, he's such a passionate guy. That's one of the things that you love about him. And you go out there and you get a chance to meet his family and watch those, how he was raised and just knowing that this guy loves the game of football. And then when he gets his hands on you, you better look out. Mm-hmm. So a great young man that's going to add some depth into our offensive line, which we're excited about.
And then another player who we were so impressed with at the state championship games, Waco La Vega wide receiver Brandon Benson coming to the Hilltop. I imagine that as an offensive-minded guy, you're excited to see a guy like Brandon Benson suiting up for the Ponies.
Yeah, how about that guy? The guy goes down there, they win a state championship. He's playing both sides of the ball. And to know that he's going to have an opportunity to come in here and play immediately when he steps on campus. Brandon's a great young man. I got an unbelievable smile. He walks in a room and he just lights it up and just a great leader. I searched high and low for guys that have his skill set. And obviously we've coached some unbelievable wide receivers where we've been, and he's going to be another one of those guys.
Is there anybody in your class that you think people aren't talking about enough that you've got really, really high expectations for?
Well, obviously there's a lot. There's a young man by the name of Ryan Becker, mm-hmm. and Ryan's out of Marble Falls. And if you've seen any video on this guy at all, you know that this guy has something to him. And so he's got a lot of video where he's playing tackle and defensive end, but he runs well. He's got great hands. He's actually going to come in here as a tight end. And then the other tight end I got is Corey Rao out of Cinco Ranch, played for Coach Clayton. And, man, you talking about a guy with an unbelievable skill set that he's got a great future ahead of him. Gives us an opportunity to set the edge, get him he can get his hand on the ground. You can put him in the backfield, but we got a lot of guys that are just really, really good football players, but they're passionate about the game. And the more and more I've been at this level, the more, and it may not make sense to you guys, but as a coach, you want guys that love to play the game, and that's a tough combination right there.
We're talking to SMU coach Chad Morris here on DCTF Live. Get involved in the conversation, hashtag DCTF Live. And, Coach, one last question before we go. Speaking of video, a video of you recently surfaced online of you kind of busting a move, about you dancing a little bit. And I want to give you an opportunity to maybe grade yourself as a dancer. Do you think that you're what kind of 4-star dancer, 5-star dancer?
I'm the best, worst dancer of all times. I think that's what one of the recruits said to me. He said, "Coach, you're the best, worst I've ever seen." So, but no, it's great. It's fun, and you got to have fun with this. And you know what? Anything we can do to get some guys on the campus that are going to help us get this program back to where it needs to be, because we're going to get it back. And this is too great of a city, and our university has too much to sell not to get it going. But it's going to be a lot of fun, and hey, who knows? There'll be more dancing where that came from.
We have no doubt that you will get them back on the winning ways, and you'll be dancing all the way there. He is Chad Morris. He is the head coach of the SMU Mustangs. Coach, congratulations on an outstanding recruiting class, and maybe go get some sleep?
Well, they got me we got a big party tonight, and they got me all over the state tomorrow talking to alumni. Then maybe get a little bit of downtime, but you know what? I know head coach. Guys get a lot of credit when times like these. But I got a great staff that has really worked hard, and I got a great recruiting department that has really done an unbelievable job of helping us out. But I'm excited and proud to say that. And we signed 25 kids off from our great state, and that's Texas tough right there. So we're going to build on that.
We like it a lot. Coach Chad Morris, thanks so much, Coach.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
There he goes, Chad Morris, the head coach of the SMU Mustangs.